the economics of zombies in a post-apocalyptic environment. On this near eve of Halloween, I wanted to take a moment and discuss something that has bothered me over the years. We're all pretty familiar with the level of zombie interest in TV land, but one thing that has concerned me is the lack of thought regarding how to deal with such a potential fictional threat. But what is the real threat? Let's knock down a couple of zombie basics right off the bat. Zombies don't die. This may not be obvious to everyone, but it's not actually based on anything in the real world. As most of us know from experience, nothing can really survive very long without food or some sort of energy. So right off they would all die pretty quickly. Even if they acted more like our cold-blooded brothers, it still wouldn't give them that much more time. Zombies want to kill you and eat your brains. Let's assume this is more based on fear than reality, because we all know people who are sick, and zombies are definitely sick, wouldn't really feel up to coming after you. But for argument's sake, let's say they did have the will or the energy to come after you. They would have to compete with other zombies for resources, which is you. So right off the bat, there is a selection process taking place. Not all zombies would be equally good at finding you, overpowering you, digesting you. This is the basis of evolution. Not to mention, are male and female zombies still male and female in our sense of the word? I think I'll leave that to another post. Where are the zombies located? Let's accept that the two assumptions are wrong, in that they, 1, didn't die too soon or at all, and that 2, they did want to come after you for food. Like many other creatures on our planet, they would congregate to where there's plenty of food, so try to avoid potentially populated areas. If we attach another truth about our real world, they would be pretty lazy. I mean, most life on planet Earth is happier lying around in the sun than, building pyramids, and even that wasn't done voluntarily. Take a look at the lions on the prairie or your lazy dog on the couch. I mean, humans are by far the most productive creatures, but there are a fair amount of us who would, let's say rather rest than plan their next endeavor. And I would assume that zombies are the same. So while there might be a couple of standouts, for the most time they aren't going to be too active. So a few miles outside of any town is likely to be quite deserted of zombies. I mean, they'll go where the eaten is better. Fighting zombies. Probably one of the biggest things you'll see relating to zombies is fighting and killing them. Now, this is a big mistake. I, for one, believe that in this post-apocalyptic world, rest and food is going to be at a premium. So devoting your energy and your resources towards fighting and killing is probably the last thing you want to do. Now it's time for some truths. Truth number 1. Nobody really wants to fight and get hurt, and I would assume that applies to zombies as well. So make it difficult for them to get you. Don't make yourself an easy target. Truth number 2. If you do find yourself on the receiving end of a swarm, remember, you are a lot smarter than them. Use that to your advantage. Don't think of them as opponents. Think of them as obstacles. I mean, other humans might be your opponents, but stupid zombies are just obstacles. Truth number 3. Zombies have the same vulnerabilities as you. Employ confusion and misdirection. They have eyes, they must see, and they are as reliant on their ability to see as you are. So why not whip up a batch of homemade mace and get a hold of a squirt gun? Problem solved. No guns, no noise, and they can't see you. And this is just one of numerous non-lethal weapons I've been thinking about lately. I'll leave the recipe for mace in the blog post. Truth number 4. If we go by the assumption of TV that they don't die and they don't need any food to survive, well, then they're like batteries. So let's hook them up to a few wheels and start making power. It would be like free energy. So let's not fight them and look at them with fear. I mean, maybe they're more of a blessing after all, and we will solve our energy crisis for good. And in conclusion, on this Halloween, when the world as usual is scarier than ever, and our faith in human institutions are quite low, remember that when threatened, humans are a substantial force. There are numerous examples, including our existence, that when the odds are against us, we react quickly and thoughtfully to overcome the problem. During World War II, the gloves were off, and techniques and technologies were greenlit that otherwise would not have been approved during any other circumstances. I mean, it takes like 10 years to develop a new fighter for the military, but if there was a real threat, that time would come down dramatically. Just look at the most recent Ebola treatment issues. I mean, the medical community is ready to remove blind trials in order to quickly get out the latest treatment. This is something unheard of in other times. Now, while the situation may be scary, recognize that we will react, and quickly, to any new threat, including zombies. Thank you guys for watching. Happy Halloween! Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out my main channel, Darben Orver, where I do various projects and play in my shop. Here's a few tips for those of you who stuck around. When everybody else runs to the grocery store and stocks up on chips, you go for the sardines and the anchovies. They're lighter and they pack more nutritional punch. Plus, nobody else will go for them. And remember, when the apocalypse comes, head to the home improvement store and make camp there. Remember, it's a lot easier to go to the supplies yourself than bringing the supplies to you. Forget the guns. Go for building supplies. Chisels and mallets. Most of the survivors probably won't know how to build anything, so you'll stand out and you'll know what to do with yourself. Instead of just a non-lethal version of mace, go for the more permanent bleach bombs. That'll stop them. Don't forget your sharpening stone. You know, this is gonna dull your tools in no time to kill off a few zombies. What are these people thinking? That the tools stay sharp forever? Stupid. Enough zombie talk. Happy Halloween.